Have you ever faced a challenge so tough you just wanted to give up? That feeling of frustration, like you've hit a brick wall. Well, today I want to share a story about a young boy named Leo, a tricky puzzle, and a powerful idea that changed everything for him. It's a concept that can change everything for you, too. Leo sat on the floor, surrounded by tiny, intricate pieces of a mechanical puzzle. It was a gift, a beautiful wooden globe with gears and levers. But right now, it felt more like a curse. He'd been at it for hours. His fingers were sore, his brow was furrowed in concentration, and a wave of frustration was washing over him. "This is impossible," he muttered, shoving a piece that just wouldn't fit. He felt that familiar urge to just sweep all the pieces back into the box and forget about it. What was the point? He was clearly just not good at this. Just as he was about to surrender, his older sister, Maya, walked into the room. She didn't offer to solve it for him, nor did she bribe him with the promise of ice cream if he finished. Instead, she sat down on the floor beside him, a calm and gentle presence. "Well, Leo," she said, her voice soft, "you've been working on this for so long. I'm really impressed with how you're sticking with it." Leo grumbled, "But I'm not getting anywhere. It's just stuck." Maya picked up a piece he had discarded. "Maybe," she said, "but look at all the different ways you tried to connect this part. You tried turning it this way, then you flipped it over. You even tried to see if it connected to that other section over there. That's some really smart thinking." Leo paused. He hadn't thought about it like that. He was so focused on the failure, on the piece not fitting, that he hadn't noticed his own effort. Maya wasn't praising him for being smart or talented. She was praising his persistence. She was noticing the process. "The goal isn't just to finish it, Maya continued, tapping the instruction manual. "The real fun is in the figuring it out part. Every time you try a new strategy, your brain is building new pathways. It's like it's getting stronger, like a muscle." She smiled. "This puzzle isn't a test of how smart you are. It's a workout for your brain." This was a new idea for Leo. A brain workout. He always thought you were either good at something or you weren't. The thought that he could actually get better, that the struggle itself was beneficial, was interesting. He looked back at the puzzle, not as an enemy to be conquered, but as a challenge to be explored. He picked up the stubborn piece again. He remembered Maya's words about trying different strategies. He hadn't tried looking at the connection from underneath. He carefully lifted the half-assembled globe and angled it towards the light. He saw a tiny, almost invisible groove he had missed before. With a gentle twist, the piece slid into place with a satisfying click. It wasn't a huge victory. The puzzle wasn't finished, but something inside Leo shifted. A small, warm spark of satisfaction lit up within him. It wasn't the loud, flashy feeling of winning a prize. It was quieter, more personal. It was the feeling of overcoming a small hurdle through his own effort. He hadn't needed anyone to give him the answer. He had found it himself. For the next hour, Maya sat with him, not offering solutions, but offering encouragement. When he got stuck again, she'd say things like, "What have you tried so far?" Or "That was a clever idea, even if it didn't work. What else could you do?" She was like a coach for his mind, guiding him to focus on his own growing abilities. Leo started to notice the process himself. He'd try a combination of gears, and when it didn't work, instead of getting angry, he'd think, "Okay, that arrangement doesn't work. What can I learn from that?" The puzzle transformed from a source of frustration into a fascinating mystery. Each piece was a clue, and he was a detective. Finally, after hours of dedicated work, he reached the climax of his challenge. There was one central gear that had to connect everything. It was the heart of the globe, and it looked impossible to place without taking the whole thing apart. The old Leo would have thrown his hands up in despair, but this was new Leo. He took a deep breath. He remembered Maya's words, "The struggle is making your brain stronger." He didn't panic. He sat back and just looked at the puzzle for a full 5 minutes, turning it over in his hands, tracing the connections with his finger. He wasn't just trying random things anymore. He was strategizing. He noticed the small lever he had installed earlier. What if its purpose wasn't just decorative? He gently pushed it. A section of the globe shifted slightly, opening up a new pathway. His eyes widened. It was the opening he needed. With careful precision, He slid the final gear into place. Click. The globe was complete. It was beautiful, a perfect sphere of interconnected wooden parts. He could spin it and watch the tiny continents move. A few hours ago, this object had been his nemesis. Now, it was a trophy. But the trophy wasn't the globe itself. As he held the finished puzzle, a profound realization dawned on him. The best part wasn't this moment, holding the finished product. The best part was the journey. It was a frustration turning into curiosity. It was a small click of a piece finally fitting. It was the feeling of his own mind stretching and growing to meet a challenge. He had discovered a joy that came from within, not from external praise or rewards. He had discovered intrinsic motivation. He looked up at Maya and gave her the biggest, most genuine smile. "That was hard," he said, his voice filled with pride. "But it was fun." Maya smiled back. "I knew you could do it," she said. But Leo knew what she really meant was, "I knew you could enjoy the process of doing it." Leo's story is a perfect illustration of the growth mindset, a concept researched by psychologist Carol Dweck. People with a fixed mindset believe their abilities are static. You're either good at something or you may not. They avoid challenges because failure feels like a judgment on who they are. But people with a growth mindset, like the one Maya helped Leo discover, believe that their abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. They see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to grow. They understand that effort is the path to mastery. The joy isn't just in the destination, it's in the climb. So, the next time you face a difficult puzzle in your own life, whether it's a project at work, a new skill you're trying to learn, or even just a tricky wooden globe, remember, Leo, instead of focusing on the result, praise your own effort. Celebrate the strategies you try. Embrace the struggle as a sign that you are learning and growing. Because the real reward isn't finishing the puzzle. It's the person you become while you're solving it. The satisfaction you get from your own effort is more valuable than any prize. That's the power of a growth mindset. It's a shift that can turn frustration into fascination and challenges into triumphs. Thank you so much for watching today. If this story resonated with you, let me know in the comments what challenge you're currently tackling with a growth mindset. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories to help you build a better, stronger mind. See you in the next video.